Sam and I set out to explore the most iconic corners in the south of Portugal, but what we found over those 4 days was more than just a standard Portugal road trip. From the golden limestone arches of the Algarves to the misty fairytale peaks of Sintra, every mile felt like a search for something truly authentic. There were even some obstacles on our way to find the places that define this country. Stick around, because by the end, I'm going to reveal the 3 specific locations that stayed with me long after I left. Sam and I rented a car in Lisbon and were heading south. Our destination was the Algarves. We had already heard many good things about this region. As Portugal is a small country, it was only a 3-hour ride. Already on the first day, we saw a stunning sunset. The next day, it was time to explore. Good morning. I'm here in Portugal and I will do a small road trip, but I'm not alone. I will do it together with my buddy Sam.
I'm Sam. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, let's do it. This will be amazing.
Cool beans.
The first location of our road trip already left us absolutely speechless. It's called Praia da Marinha. By the way, I got to know Sam in an online community called Story Hero. Later this week, there will be the first ever in-person meetup in Lisbon, but we decided to extend our stay and explore the south of Portugal. So far, it was definitely the right decision to do the road trip.
I am listening, you are the voice whispering in my head, shining through the bells steady ringing, the words I can't ignore, wide hearts open to...
After exploring the cliffs from above, it was time to head down to the beach. Originally, I wanted to visit this place with perfect weather. At the beginning, it was a bit hard to accept that the conditions weren't perfect for filming. However, I'm really glad that I let go of my expectations. It showed me that you can have a lot of fun anyways.
Look at that! Oh! Hurry up!
Wow, just look at this beautiful hidden beach, but I just got my feet soaked. Look at that. I wasn't fast enough. I have to say that Sam was a great inspiration to me. I always do a lot of planning and want to know many details in advance, but Sam is the complete opposite. It was really refreshing to be accompanied by someone so spontaneous. It showed me that I should adopt that attitude myself. That way, you are much more likely to have fun.
Barcelona, you're heavy on my heart. Sunburned shoulders, painted in the parks. Daylight goodbyes, cheek to cheek.
You remember when I said this is a great idea? I might need to go back on that. Anyways, are your shoes wet too?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. All right, epic photo coming in the next spot then. Let's try again.
Before we continue, I want to show you some photos. Sam is actually a professional photographer, but I think you can tell that just by looking at the photos. On the second day, we were heading away from the coast because we wanted to see something else. Our destination was a small village called Alferce. Today we are here in the mountains. Let's do some hiking. I was really looking forward to this hike. For Sam, it was a bit of unknown territory.
I'm suffering already, okay? Suffering already. I'm trying not to think about going back up.
City guy doing a hike.
City mouse.
Yeah. Sam lives in Belgium, which is quite different from my home country Switzerland. I'm used to hiking in the Alps, but Belgium is so flat that I probably wouldn't go hiking either if I lived there. I would say that Portugal falls somewhere in between the other countries. I was really curious to find out what hiking here is like.
To hold you, and I'll hold you, and I'll sing.
You're gonna tell me we have to cross the river, right?
Sam,
Yeah.
I think you spotted the problem.
Oh.
This is not ideal.
Dude, we just got my shoes wet yesterday. I only have one pair of shoes on.
There was an elderly couple that had the same problem. They were actually the ones that found an option to cross the river. It was a bit sketchy, but eventually I made it to the other side.
Yes, I made it. Now it's Sam's turn. Let's see.
Sam was quite afraid that he would fall into the water because he had a lot of expensive camera equipment in his backpack. But also he was able to cross the river. We were really glad to leave it behind us. However, it didn't take long before we encountered another obstacle. 2 minutes later, we had to cross the river again. This time, it was even more sketchy.
And I've climbed hills to castles in the snow, but you I can't let go.
Eventually, the hard work was about to pay off as we were getting closer to the hanging bridge. We chose the right direction for the round hike. It was nice to save the highlight for the end.
Wow, that's really amazing. It was so worth it to come here.
In the evening, Sam filmed this beautiful sunset. For the next day, the weather forecast finally looked promising.
Over there you can see the lighthouse somewhere behind me. We made it to the southwestern-most point of mainland Europe. It's such a cool feeling to stand here.
It was a special feeling to be surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean, knowing that there is no land for thousands of kilometers. But also apart from that, it's a stunning place. The drop-off at the cliff was breathtaking. Unfortunately, you can't visit the lighthouse, but it's still worth it to visit this place.
And by the way, this is our car, a Renault Clio. It's quite modern and so far really good.
I wanted to explore the other side as well, but suddenly I almost stepped onto a fish. They were actually fishing from up there, which really surprised me. Considering the size of these cliffs, I would not have thought that it's possible. After the lighthouse, we decided to head north. But it didn't take long before we stopped at another beautiful location.
Bye, Sam.
Good luck,
See you
buddy.
later.
Good luck, buddy. See you now.
Thanks. So, let's go hiking.
Sam didn't feel like hiking, so I decided to do the hike on my own. I was so stoked that winter was finally over. Doing adventures after a long break is always the best feeling. Already after a few minutes, I knew that this hike will be a lot of fun. By the way, this stunning beach is called Praia da Bordeira.
To know that I had a leg now with your pain.
It was definitely one of the most beautiful places of our road trip so far. I left the beach behind and it was time to explore the cliffs. For generations, local fishermen had named the rocks along these cliffs. It reminded me of Switzerland, where even small peaks have their own name.
I believe in a God who loves me well, better than I can love myself. But I can't seem to make sense of grace, and I feel unworthy of your love most days.
And here's my taxi. So nice. Hey Sam.
This was actually already the last stop of our road trip. It's crazy how fast the time had passed. It was a bit sad to already head back to Lisbon. However, we both enjoyed the road trip a lot and we're looking forward to meet the other members of the community. Once again, our timing was perfect. There was an amazing sunset as we drove into Lisbon. The next morning I headed to the meetup. We already met at 8 AM because we had a lot planned for the day.
There they are. These are my people. Hey guys.
Hey, you made it!
Yes.
As we already had a lot of contact online, it was so nice to finally meet everyone in person. It was funny that everyone had a camera. We had our own bus for the day and were heading to Sintra. Our first stop was at Pena Park. The conditions were perfect. It was the first time ever I was surrounded by other filmmakers. It was very interesting to see the way other people film.
Doesn't move when I'm with you. And I wouldn't even want it to. I wouldn't want it.
Wow, just look at this place. This is absolutely stunning.
We made it to Pena Palace. Luckily we could walk past all the people that wanted to see the inside. I looked up at the yellow and red towers of the palace, which felt more like a dream than a royal residence. King Ferdinand II had built this 500 meters above the sea, the castle in the clouds that dominates the entire Sintra skyline. Its architecture and location were truly stunning.
Your eyes are the color of the sunflowers, so radiant, wild and free. And the world stops spinning, I lose track of all the hours. There's no place I'd rather be.
Sadly, it was already time to continue. It was really fun not to know what exactly awaited us. We were about to explore yet another beautiful cliff.
Wow. This view is also absolutely amazing.
By the way, if you want to learn filmmaking and storytelling yourself, I can highly recommend to join the Story Hero Academy. The course material is awesome and the community even more. Also, the second stop was quite short. It was time to head to the next location. This time the ride was a bit longer, but eventually we made it to Caiscais. We first explored the beautiful park. It was really nice not to be at the beach for once. Overall, I think the diversity Portugal has to offer is simply incredible. It's so much fun to explore this country.
It's all waiting for you. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
3, 2, 1, go!
Aurora, the light of day. It's all before you, illuminating. So much to be.
So grateful for this moment. So nice to be here with all these amazing people. It's so much fun not to be alone anymore.
Looking back, those 4 days across the south of Portugal were an amazing experience. It reminded me exactly why I started seeking these moments in the first place. My 3 favorite highlights were the turquoise arches of Praia da Marinha, the breathtaking beach and wild cliffs of Praia da Bordeira, and finally, the fairy-tale-like Pena Park and Pena Palace in Sintra. It was the perfect ending to a journey that felt more like a dream than a road trip. Thanks a lot for watching and see you in the next one.